In praise and blessings to all of the elements, in praise and blessings to all of the directions, in praise and blessings to all living beings. My little transmission today is just to give a little bit of light into the world of fruitarianism, inspired by a very good friend, Alam. Once upon a good time, I did give 6 months of my life to a raw vegan exploration. I was living just on eating raw food, whatever you could think of. So I wasn't exactly a fruitarian, but I was a rawitarian. And this gave me an incredible insight that I wish to share with the planet, with anyone who would like to listen, with anyone who would care to dive into the deep waters of the infinite possibilities. Usually, a healthy diet is considered, in a normal sense, to include many animal products and fundamentally cooked foods, as well as a good portion of raw foods. However, if we are to take our complete devotion to the raw foods, particularly for fruits, what are we doing with ourselves? How does this actually change our outlook? How does this change the internal chemistry, the physics of the living being? And how can we expand the philosophy of raw food eating beyond just a health perspective and into a metaphysical wisdom? What I would like to share is that my friends, my dear fellows, my family of all over the world, whoever comes to see what I'm sharing with you, what we are is a fractal. What we are is a geometrically symmetrical perfect being, just like any shape we can find in nature, in the living wild, that has a reverberation of light, an essence of luminosity. What we are is this inside ourselves. We are a whole jungle of unfolding fruition, and this is the element of water that manifests itself through the element of earth in the joy of the element air. That's it. These three elements are what we naturally are. We are a dance of these three elements, enjoying the light, and the light is the fire. When we have the light as a reduced form of utilitarian quality with which we would have cooked some water-based substance or material, such as a cucumber or like a courgette, then what we're doing is we're transforming that free flowing light into a density of death, and that cooked food represents a shadow spirit. This is a metaphysical interpretation. Whenever we cook something, there are separations of the elements taking place, and this releases a shadow spirit. And when we ingest the shadow spirit, it causes turbulence, it causes all kinds of radical vibrating disbalances, let's say, very, very fine and subtle reverberations, or like voids, anomalies, some type of inconsistency that sparks around. It flicks and flips and waves around in the body. It triggers different kinds of reflexes, and all of these reflexes are tiring for the nervous system to uphold. These little particles from the shadow spirit that bounce throughout each layer and substrate of our luminosity reduce the vibration of consciousness in every cell of the body, and we become calculating of ourselves, calculating of every process in the body. The mind has to take control, re-establish authority of a stability that it perceives to be or deems acceptable. The mind can be liberated, and it's not an upward liberation, it's a downward liberation. The blood in the head literally can be released into the body so soon as we are in our organic luminosity. The organic luminosity of the brain can be relaxed once the body has no anomaly vibrating around, rattling around its skeleton and musculature and skin organs. I believe that I will be coming back to the raw foods way, because it's really what I am. I am really attuned in my life purpose to be an ambassador, a pioneer of sorts in this kind of culture. And I don't meet anybody who's on it as devotedly as I would have been if I hadn't been traveling at that moment after 6 months of being raw and finding delicious vegan junk foods to tempt me away. So I came back into the cooked food reality. But the cooked food reality it's just, I can really perceive how it's not fulfilling in the complete sense of what I can imagine to be the true power of the human spirit. And I wish for all of you to find this true power of this human spirit within your dreams, within your waking reality, to grasp it, to remember it, to re-embody it in your own fluidity and your own beauty by the course of nature. I thank you, and be well.